before we get some of those questions, let's maybe go around the table and have you identify for our viewers the issues that you think are most important in these next few weeks. And let's start. I think you're a veteran legislator here, I would suspect, right?
You know, I'm the old guy all of a sudden. How did that happen? I still feel young.
Well, if it's any consolation, I think of myself as the junior member of the court, and now Alan Page is the senior member, and I'm next to him in seniority. So the time goes by quite quickly. Anyway, tell our viewers a little bit about what you think might be coming up.
Well, certainly healthcare, and the senator mentioned that already. It's going to be an issue, and we're going to talk a lot about even how well the whole Obamacare, Affordable Care Act, was it affordable? You know, is there any care involved? Is it working? Is it worth $180 million we've got tied up in the website? And, you know, are some people still on hold? Will Mary get her insurance in time? Tune in on Tuesday to see. So that'll be quite a topic. There'll be some budget surplus that people get to discuss. We may discuss where the surplus came from, if it's really a surplus or if it should stay in people's pockets. So we'll talk about disability services. There's the PCAs would like to get a 5% raise so they can afford to continue to serve some very sensitive families. Those are certainly going to be some of the big topics coming up.
Senator Benson?
And I think given that we are projecting a surplus, we did in November, and we'll likely in February see another surplus. Repeal of some of the taxes that were put into place, some that are particularly harmful to our business economy, I think those need to be on the table for repeal. Federal conformity. Minnesota's tax code is unnecessarily complicated when compared to the states around us. So I think we need to look at some of those things. We have a surplus. Let's get it back to the people who earned it.
Senator Schmidt?
Well, in 2013, we spent a lot of time balancing our budget, and for the first time in a decade, we have a balanced budget, no shifts, gimmicks, or games. That's no minor accomplishment. I think next we need to focus on infrastructure and making sure that we're making quality investments in roads and bridges, sewer and water, and also a very important piece of infrastructure that I think that we need to talk more about in St. Paul, and that's broadband connectivity. And that's whether it's wireless or fiber connections to many homes and businesses throughout greater Minnesota. It's an issue I'm very passionate about. Spent a good part of the interim here, the last several weeks and months, getting around the state, talking to folks, over 20 communities visited. And in my mind, that's something that we need to focus on this session. It fits really well into the frame of infrastructure investments with the bonding bill, and also with the governor's call for an unsession. We have more references to the telegraph than to the internet in state law right now, and I just think that's unacceptable in 2014. So I think we got to make our state law more it's going to be smarter and more apt for the times.
Telegraph service is not a major issue for this session.
Well, it's right there with the facsimile. So
that's right. Yeah, I knew somebody was going to say something about it. I'm revealing my age. I remember when it came in, and this was a major innovation. So that's my problem, not yours. Anything else, Senator Schmidt?
Well, I think we're identifying a number of issues right here. I know there's going to be a good discussion of the minimum wage. I think Minnesotans would agree it's time for an increase, and what that number is, what's an appropriate number. That's something we'll be talking a lot about. And I'd like to have a conversation about transportation finance too. I think that's an area the unmet need is only growing, and we've got to figure out a way to catch up with that backlog of needed projects.
Representative Radinovich, your thoughts?
Yeah, being the fourth person to talk here, a lot of the prime topics are sort of picked over, but I think the most important issues for me, of course, are the ones that are local. So there are several local projects that I'm working on in the Crosby, Ironton, and Aiken areas. Things where wastewater infrastructure and the type of things that we could see in a bonding bill, investment in airports, in the college in Brainerd there, Central Lakes College. So I think that those are some of the things. Of course, the big ticket things that we're looking at this year are the minimum wage, and there are a lot of Minnesotans out there that will be impacted by an increase in minimum wage. The House passed an increase of $9.50 that in fact that would benefit over 200,000 Minnesotans if we raise the wage at that point. These are people who have lost wages to inflation. That we know that if the wage would have kept pace with where it was in the 1960s, that it'd be at over $10 an hour right now. And so as we look at Minnesota's economy, I think we have to ask, is it working for everyone? And Representative Abler, of course, mentioned people who are doing home health care work right now. I met with a group of those workers the other day, and they're making about $9.25 an hour. They haven't seen an increase in a few years, and they received no sick or vacation days. And so one of the people I talked to had a reconstructive knee surgery early in the week and had to go back to work by the end of the week. And so I think we have to ask ourselves some very critical questions about how Minnesota's economy is working for those in the bottom quartiles.